Hello there, this is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another video. Primal desire versus cultural desire. And I've talked several times about how cultural factors affect relationships. Because I've said several times, if a woman's looking at a man, she ain't just looking at his physicality. That's the base. I've even said that when talking about body game. It's the base, it's the foundation. But cultural factors will come into it because she's not just looking at that guy, but she's trying to get an idea about his religion, his class background, his education, a bunch of factors. A whole lot of things. And that's part of it. And she can actually desire someone because they're in the same culture. They're in the same subculture. That's very important. Because I've always told the story of when I was doing a relationship expo and there were a couple goths in the audience. And they look right. And I thought about that again this past weekend when I was at a restaurant with my sons, and there was a couple came in, a couple big people, and quite frankly, the woman, I mean, she had that masculine vibe. She had that masculine vibe. And the dude, he had more of a yin vibe. But you could tell they had tats, they had a similar look. That was very cultural, because you get some people think, oh, well, you have to be this height. You have to have this measured jawline. You have to have this body build. And that can be important on a primal level. Let's be clear, like a primal level, just pure DNA, pure biology and stuff to certain people. But that's actually rare. Someone who has that type of biology, that build that appeals to a great amount of people, they're rare. They're rare, that can just cut across class boundaries, religious boundaries, and things of that nature. They exist. They exist, definitely, but they're so rare, it's scary. You can go months, even years without running into it. But if you really look at it, the cultural desire, that's the thing. What is it according to the culture? What do they like? Like, let's talk about body builds. Some cultures, in fact, this is part of biology, but also a cultural thing. Let's just talk, I'm gonna just put it out there so you understand. What a white man might call a dime and what a black man might call a dime. It's not the same. It's not the same. And especially if you get in cultures such those out of Africa, it's not the same. It's not the same. Like a white man, they might call a woman a dime and she's slim, she's petite and all of that. And that's cool. That's cool. Part of that's biological, part of that is cultural. But then, you go to Africa, Caribbean, many parts in urban areas in the United States. Oh shoot, she better be curvy. She better be curvy and everything. And see, that's a basic level to understand. See, part of that's biological based on the DNA, but also part of it's on the culture. What does the culture promote? What does the culture promote? How the people eating and all of that. And then when you get into subcultures, like I said, I saw a couple and you could tell, just their look and everything. They were probably a part of the same general subcultural milieu. Okay, that's the thing. And see, that's why, you get some guys saying, well, to be sexy, you got to do this, this, and this for certain cultures, maybe for the tribe in the culture. And let me say something about the tribe thing real quick. That's part of a tribe, whatever subculture that you're in, whatever subculture that you're in. Because I'll use myself for an example. Okay, I'm, got, just a little stubble here and there, but if I shaved it was totally clean cut and everything, I'll appeal to more upper class women, particularly upper class black women, or women who might be strongly in the church or something. But when I let it grow out, let it get a little wild and everything, I appeal to certain subcultures within the black community. And just to be clear, because I know some people think it's one big community, you obviously are not in the community. So, but that's the thing. And that's the same thing in all communities, Hispanic community, white community, Asian communities. It depends on the culture. I'm gonna tell you what, like if you get a guy and he wants to know what he can do to get women, depending on the culture, he might need to look the part. So, like I said, for some cultures, the women you want to get with, you better be tatted up and everything. Got to have your hair a certain way. Other ones, you might have to look more conservative. And then, like I said, that's in all racial groups, all over the world. Is a difference, and people will attract that because they fit into that certain image. But like I said, and you do have some rare, they just have a certain primal thing. That primal thing, then all of that, you throw all of that out. That primal thing. That's why sometimes you'll get a situation where people of different cultures, different religions and everything will still get together because there was a primal attraction that cut across it. Even in situations where someone say, well, like a woman might say, I don't usually date a guy who wears this or even this body build, but that's hitting her on a primal level. And that's the hardest thing. I mean, that's even a part of body game, attracting a woman on a primal level, but that's still tough. And especially when you in a society where most people they not at their primal body build anyway. I've talked about this before. People are not at their primal thing, their DNA. If that was the case, we wouldn't have any relationship issues. But then, as one of my associates once said, and I have to attribute this to him, Tornado, he said, attraction is biology filtered by culture. The culture thing is powerful. That's why I'm gonna tell you what, just think about something. That's why what is desirable, what's considered generally desirable, can change every few years. Like right now, it's a big thing to have beards, like in all communities and stuff. Hey, that beard game, I mean, they got a whole industry for it. But what happens if something happens and people become more conservative? All of a sudden, people got to be more clean cut. Men got to be more clean cut. That's a cultural thing. That's why different styles change. And in fact, it can even affect what's considered primal. Like, let's use body game, for example. I was checking out a video one time. It was saying even what was considered the hot body keeps changing. That's a cultural thing. That's a cultural thing. Because, it's like it could be super muscular or it could be slimmer or anything like that. There's several videos talking about that. And it's the thing. And I'm going to tell you what, it could be why there could be problems, because like say a male and a female get together based on a cultural desire, but circumstances in society change that. That's happening now, really. That's happening now. Even though I've said continuously and I stand by it, the game doesn't change, because I'm looking at it from a more primal perspective of sex. The culture can change. The culture can change. It's still an attraction though, but it's a matter of how it affects people, how much they're affected by the culture. See, that's another thing as well. Every woman, every man, it's going to depend, well, more for women. Men, let's just be real. If the woman's physically attracted to us, she could be totally opposite us culturally. Some dude might see some goth woman who got that big old butt or big breastises, a pretty face, and still try to figure out a way to get with her, not even noticing. Women care about all that though. Women care about all of that. And that, like I said, that can change. The changes could be whatever. It could be a point where culture could change to the point where, tattoos for whatever reason turn off people. Turn off women. It could be a point. Like tattoo surgery or removal surgery becomes a big business. It could be a point. I was talking about the beard game and everything. Like I said, that could change. Anything could change. What people wearing to work now, you can be more casual now, but like I said, you gotta, I'd say just overall, I don't like to get into politics, but I would say the conservative look is making a strong move right now. The conservative living and everything. It might or might not change something else. But, you know, on my Deep Thought channel last week, I talked about different groups fighting. I need to check out Deep Thought. So that's the thing, though. But it is a difference. See, the primal desire, it don't matter. It's just there. That's that spark. That's just pure based on physicality and DNA. But the cultural is about fitting into whatever that person's culture is, that subculture or something, having the look, because every single subculture has an ideal look and everything. So, and like I said, that can change. Even, well, with subcultures, when you talk about overall mainstream, yeah, things could change. That could change. But the primal stays, that's gonna always stay. And in my view, focus more on the primal any damn way, because you wanna be at that point where no matter what, you're attracted, hence body game, hence the physicality. But it's still gonna be changed, modified by culture. And in many subcultures, cultural groups, it's about matching whatever the cultural norm is at that moment. All right? So anyway, that's all I have for today. I'll get back with y'all later. Peace and blessings.